So a couple months ago, Dekala sent me the Dekala arches, which I covered in a video. Had some great visual qualities to it. I really enjoyed the lighting on it. It had some phone features where it allowed you to charge your phone, and it also had a Bluetooth speaker. Now, I ended off that video by saying that I didn't really recommend the arches if you were planning on using it as a lighting focused product. It was good if you wanted everything, if you wanted the lighting, if you wanted the phone charging, and you wanted the speaker. But as a lighting and maybe speaker product only, it wasn't the greatest option just due to the way that it diffused light. Dekala has since sent over the Arkenstone product, which is a full dome LED light instead of the ring style that the Arches was, and I believe that this will be a much better lighting product that, if you did want to use it in your streams and your YouTube videos, this could add some great ambient light to your background. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a look at all the different features. Alright, so as per last time, the box was a little bit damaged in shipping, but let's quickly go over what it says on the box here. So we've got the sleep aid, biological benefits, no-brainer operation, aesthetically pleasing design, perfect for various scenarios, all around glowing, 2-year warranty support, a sleep aid, sound machine, sunrise alarm clock, and remote controlled RGB light into one smart lamp. They talk about light therapy, scenarios, and sleep aid. They really push the sleep aid stuff. I don't particularly use it for that, but it is there as an option if you want it. So we got our manual. The manual for the arches was great. So let's hope that this is the same situation. We have a USB block. 200 milliamp, 5 volt. So, nothing spectacular, but, pretty decent. And we've got our cable. It's a barrel plug into USB. And here is the actual device. So, very, very different design than the arches. This is entirely encased in a plastic shell. Reminds me of an old iMac, honestly. We've got some buttons on the back here, a volume, brightness, a timer, sleep timer. Don't know what this one is, but we'll check it in the manual. We have our speaker here that's covered in a piece of cloth. We have our port for a barrel charger. And we've got the front of the device. So let's go ahead and get it plugged in and turned on. So we've got our clock display here. Yep, so that is the brightness button on the back there that we saw first. And again, you do see the display kind of on its own within the device. Not my favorite feature. I wish the light bleed in there wasn't as bad. But let's go ahead and follow the setup instructions. Just as with last time, it uses the Smart Life app, which I already have installed. Alright, now that we're logged in here, we can actually see the Arkenstone is already picked up by the app, just like last time, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Gotta put in my Wi-Fi password. We'll let that get added. We'll take a look at the manual while that goes ahead. So very similar app layout for this product as well. You got the night light, the color light, the ambient light. You can set up alarms and sleep aids. And you have your coloring and your ambient light, which is mainly what I'm going to be using it for. As with the arches, you can control it with your Google smart devices or your Amazon smart devices. You can just go ahead and sync Smart Life with either Amazon or Google, and it'll allow you to use those assistants to control the device. Oh wow, okay. So this is actually a rotating ring, which I didn't notice. Wow, that is a much more impressive light. And just rotating the wheel allows you to change the brightness, which is kind of cool. So that is maximum brightness, and that is minimum brightness. We had a little issue connecting it to the Wi-Fi. Was that because I touched it? We'll find out. Oh. Here are all the light modes. And there are a bunch of button presses that you can do in order to change what it's doing, which is nice. Alright, so my issue was my fault. I was trying to connect it to the 5 gigahertz band, but this device, as the Arches, only works on the 2.4 gigahertz band, so make sure you change the Wi-Fi that your phone is connected to in order to properly connect it. Now, as we were saying, there's a whole bunch of buttons here for what you can do in order to change the lighting, but it also mentions that majority of the features and the colors can be accessed through your phone. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's go ahead and turn off the clock, because I'm probably not going to be using that at all, which I love the fact that you can entirely turn off the clock. You can kind of see the area where the clock should be, but it's not super noticeable. And let's go ahead and look at some of the other ambient lights, for example. Oh boy. So when you change the light mode, it automatically goes to the brightest setting, so just keep that in mind. But, you know, they have all these different modes. You can change the way that the light moves across just by double pressing, and it changes modes as well. Which is, you know, I think that's awesome. I really like that it has the buttons directly on the device. And instead, if we want to go to a specific color, we can go ahead and do that. Let's turn the brightness down because that is really bright. And you have a ton of options here. You can actually get them to be very, very light in terms of contrast, or you can go all the way deep into the color, which is really, really nice. I like that ability, and I like that it, when you don't have the contrast up, it just looks more white, which is really, really nice. So this, I feel, is a much better device if you're going to be using it for ambient light in a room. And if you don't feel like using it as a clock, you don't have to. You can turn the clock off entirely and just use it as a light dome, which I think is going to be my primary purpose. But you do have all these other great features like the sleep aid and everything that the Arches had. Again, the Arches on top of that has the Bluetooth speaker so that you can play music off of it. The speaker on here is only used for the sleep aid and the alarms. You can't connect to the speaker via Bluetooth and play your own music off of that, so that's, the Arches also has that on top of that. The Arches has the phone charging, and you know, the Arches has a lot of things that this one doesn't, but this one fits my needs a lot better. I really like the design. I think it looks great. It really diffuses light nicely, so let's turn up the brightness all the way. And as you can see, the back is not the most appealing thing when you have the light on. But the front really diffuses that light really nicely. I think it looks great. It is extremely bright. I think this will be a great accent light for my set. And then once I move into a new set, if I ever get that chance, I think this is going to be a great piece in there. And I'll be able to change up the colors to kind of match, you know, any kind of other lights I have set up, or to create a new light. Now, as I mentioned, you can kind of see the clock outline space here. You only really notice it on the lowest brightnesses, though. Once you turn it up, you can't really notice it as much. It may just be because you're getting absolutely blinded by that light. Alright, so now that we've got that thing unboxed, let's go ahead and just quickly again review a bunch of the features that are available on this. So you have the 10 dynamic lighting effects with all of those colors. Most of them are available directly on the device by using that wheel, which is awesome. And if you want more fine-tuned control, you can go ahead and do that in the app by using the color wheel. You also have the sunrise simulation built into the alarm clock with light and sound, which is, you know, a super awesome way to wake up if that's what you like. I personally don't use that. My alarm clock is very mean to me and I have to do math in order to turn it off. But if a sunrise alarm clock is something that you would like, this is an awesome feature. It also has a sleep aid mode, which allows you to use lights and use those sleep aid sounds again. So you have a lot of options there. If we go ahead and look at the app, you have sleep aid sounds like forest, ocean, chirp, bonfire, R-wave, brainwave, train, fan, white noise, drizzle, and light music. Now, I personally listen to my own music when I go to sleep, so I won't be using this feature. I don't think I'm going to be using the Arkenstone in my room in general, but if you did want a sleep aid, this is great. You can change the sound to be static throughout the entire thing or to gradually get quieter over time, and you can set the volume level. You can also change the light that's available there, and you can have it set for a certain period of time, or you can have it just stay on the whole night. Now, one of my favorite features of all of the Dekala products that I've looked at so far is the fact that they use the Smart Life app. This app is great. It uses and controls products from a bunch of different manufacturers, which I find super handy. It integrates really well with Amazon and Google's Smart Assistants, which is also super handy, and I use that a lot. I use my Google Assistant to control all of the lights in the studio, if you can call this a studio, and being able to link this light into that and turn it on and turn it off with all of these lights is going to be a super handy feature for me especially. Another nice feature about the Arkenstone is that all of these things can be controlled directly through the app, and as I've mentioned, I really enjoy the app, but it can also all be controlled directly on the device through that wheel and the buttons on the back. So on the back of the device, you have the sleep aid button, which allows you to turn on and off the sleep aid mode. If you long press it, you can enter settings and use that little wheel in the middle to change and apply those settings. You also have the alarm clock button just below that. Again, you can press it to turn it on or turn it off. If you long press it, again, it will bring you into a setting menu within the device without having to use the app at all. You can go ahead and set certain alarms. You have the volume button, so if you press that, you can then use the wheel to turn volume up or volume down. And you also have the time display setting that looks like the little sun there. So you can press it to adjust the visibility of the time display on the front. I'm going to keep mine off, but you can press it to turn it brighter and brighter and brighter, and then off. If you long press it, you can manually calibrate the hour and the minutes, and click again the button to confirm it. As I mentioned before, the manual is very, very well done. A lot of these products typically don't have the greatest manuals, but the Dekala manuals have been great. The Arches one was great, and the Arkenstone one is equally as good. The app layout is great. It is really a no-brainer product. Anybody can set it up and use it. My sister uses the Arches right now that I got previously. She uses that beside her bed. She uses it to charge her phone. She plays music through the Bluetooth speaker. And she also uses it as a sleep aid with the lights and the alarm when she's waking up. Now, comparing the Arkenstone to the other Dekala products, if you want something to charge your phone and have a Bluetooth speaker built into it, you're going to want to get the Arches. That's going to be your best option there for you. If you want something that doesn't have any of the alarm or clock features, you can go ahead and get the Prismatic, which I think would be the best suited product for me, for my use, since I'm going to be just using this, as an accent light in my shots for my videos and on B-roll as well. But the Arkenstone is the one that's right in the middle. It's got the clock and the alarm features and the sleep aid features that the Arches has, but it also has the really great light diffusion and I think a more easy look to have in any room because of how simple and, simple the shape is really. The Arches has a very interesting look to it, and I don't think it would look great if you just had it sitting out, especially if the lights weren't on. But this looks totally fine, looks pretty normal if you have it off, and then if you have it on, obviously it looks very nice, and the light diffusion is a lot better. And I really enjoy the fact that if you have the clock turned off, it doesn't look like it's missing anything. It just looks like it's meant to be a, very nice ambient light. As with last time, I will have an affiliate link down below to the Dekala store. If you go ahead and use that, it really helps support the channel, and I very much appreciate it. You can also go ahead and use code Caddac on checkout, and that'll get you 20% off any of your purchases of any product on the Dekala store. So yeah, I highly suggest the Arkenstone. I really enjoy it. I think it's a much better product for me personally than the Arches was. Again, the Arches is a great product. My sister's using it and really enjoying it. This, though, I think you're going to be seeing this in the background of my videos for a long time, unless I end up picking up the Prismatic, which I would probably use instead of this. Maybe my other sister would want to use this because of the, sleep aid and the sunrise alarm features that are on it. But I am very much looking forward to using this one and seeing how it's going to look in the background of my videos. If you found this video helpful, though, I'd really appreciate if you like, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. I'd like to thank my Patreon sponsors, Step Back, Thought Slime, and Rojo Son of Dojo, and I'd like to thank you for watching the end of this video. If you do want to go ahead and check out the video I did on the Arches, if you're interested in that product, I will go ahead and leave that video right up here. And as always, stay safe. I'll see you next Friday.